Okay, so this is the third video in a set of 4 videos for section 7.4. Now, this is totally conceptual. I want you to kind of understand why the next video even can happen. So let's think. I want you to remember that x to the negative n power is equal to is equal to 1 over x to that power if it was positive. So what if x was a fraction? What I want you to think about is, let's think about what happens if you have a fraction. And what if you're dividing by a fraction? So let's take the example 3/4 to the negative second power. Now we know we can rewrite that 3/4 as essentially 1 over 3/4 to the positive 2 power. The only thing with that now is we have a fraction over a fraction, or a fraction under a fraction, and that just looks messy. It's really hard. That's the reason why we don't like fractions in the first place. So let's rewrite this so it makes some even more sense. We then have 1, or we could write, actually, let's write 1 as a fractional unit itself. So let's write it as 1 over 1. And that's going to be divided by 3/4 raised to the power of 2. I keep changing this, and I apologize. I need to stay consistent. So 3/4 to the power of 2. From here, let's think. What happens when you divide a fraction by a fraction? Well, we keep that original fraction. We change our operation sign, and we flip our second fraction. So let's do that. We have 1 over 1. We are going to be multiplying by the flipped version of that same fraction squared. So now, since we have now rewritten that, we can simplify all of this. We know 1 times 4 is going to 4, regardless if it's 4 raised to the second power. Anything across the top is still going to be whatever it is in that second fraction, because it is only being multiplied by 1. That doesn't change anything. So we can now rewrite this as 4/3, all of this raised to the second power, and then we can also rewrite that even further and do that distributive property and say 4 squared divided by 3 squared. Now, if we look at our original fraction, or if we look at our original operation that we were looking at, we have 3/4 to the negative second power, and what we ended up with was 4/3 to the positive second power. So the next video should make a little bit more sense based on what we just did. I hope this helps.